Good. Okay. Good morning and welcome to my live stream. I apologize for the difficulty of getting on. Uh, I've been having this ongoing problem with my computer and it just sometimes sticks. And I want to give you a warm welcome to a place that I hope will help you. Um, I am broadcasting from California um, live, and it's the West Coast. I live in a place called Surf City, and about 3 blocks from the beach. And I'm here to help you all with dealing with what's called CPS. Now, what I call CPS is the Child Protection System. It is a system that was developed or mandated by Congress directed to social services to create an entity. And that's why I call it systems, because these entities have different names. If you're in California, the Orange County one is called the Child Protection Services. If you live next door in LA County, it's Department of Children and Family Services. In Prescott, Arizona, it's Department of Children's Services. In Richmond, Kentucky, it's the Cabinet. So it's really hard to describe. So I just call it the Child Protection System. That's what CPS means to me. It also is a government entity that is supposed to protect, it's been mandated by Congress, children from abuse and neglect. Examples of abuse would be not clothing the child, not taking the child to school, lack of supervision, not bathing the child, not feeding the child, not taking them to the doctors. Now, abuse, some examples of abuse is where a child is hit physically hard, strikes, shaken, thrown against the wall. If you shake a young infant, the brains, they're still developing. Using any kind of instrument to punish a child, like cords and rope and sticks, that is abuse. That is abuse. And it goes on every day. There's over 1,000 cases are not reported every day. And there's over 500 children being investigated by the child protection systems in every state, every county. Every state has counties, and in each county is a child protection system. Now, um, now, I want you all to understand there's no magical wand that I could make it all go away. But with knowledge and research, you can get it going away. With getting the right tools to fight them, you can. It is really hard because I've been doing this now for 17 months, since October of 2023. And I do it twice a day, and my live stream is on 7 days a week. It's on in the morning at 10 a.m. and on the evening at 7 p.m. On the weekends, I come on at 8 o'clock. Other days may move, and I'll let you know as best as I can. If you check the notification button, then you'll be notified when I come live. Also, if you check the follow button, you can follow me. I'd love for you to follow me. Please, while you're in this room, use emojis, smiley faces, thumbs up, hearts, even the stars. Take good notes, and you can just sit here and listen. But if you like to do something else, because this is an interactive live stream, meaning you, people out there, can ask me questions or make a comment about CPS. Now, when you text the comments or the questions about CPS. Please show me your first name, your city or county, the state, and if you're from another country, that's right, you heard me, your country. I have over 21 countries right now from all over the world. I've had Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, the Middle East with Saudi Arabia and Libya, then over in Africa with Liberia, and then Sudan, Rwanda, even South Africa. I've had several of the provinces actually call in to the podcast. Their country code is 27. Then up to Europe, England, Scotland, and Wales, Denmark, and Sweden. Then across the pond, Canada, North America, and its 4 provinces have called in and texted and so forth. All 50 states. I've talked to everybody, every state, including the District of Columbia. Then south of the border, Mexico, and then in South America, Grenada, and then across the Pacific, the South Pacific, to New Zealand, and then to the land down under, Australia, and its 2 states. So I have a well-diverse feeling of CPS around the world and in the United States. And the sad part of it, some of it is some of the CPS systems are rogue, meaning that they're doing things illegally. And the people that call in here are the people that are happening. Their children are taken away and they're not in danger. My children weren't. They were taken from me, trafficking into foster care, and they were all in school. There was no danger to them. And I know a lot of you have come similar situation. You have to be careful. I did not know anything about the CPS 15 years ago. They harassed me for 5 years. And then they took my children in 2015. 3 of my 6 children I've helped to raise. And I have over 42 years of marriage experience. Good morning, NYP. NYP is one of my family members that comes in here. And I think her name is Alicia, if I'm not forgotten. And she's from California City, California. And she had a case, a bad case. And she's been trying to get her children back too. Anything you want to ask me, Alicia? Anything you want to talk about? You can also call in too. Now, another way to interact with this podcast is to be a part of my, not podcast, live stream. I have a bad habit of saying podcast. Podcast is recorded audio presentation, a pre-recorded. I am live, and I'm doing this live stream because you see me, and if I have guests, you can see the guests. And I'd love for you to be a guest on my live stream. All you have to do is email my show producer, Grace, and she will help you. That's Grace at VincentWDavis.com. Grace at VincentWDavis.com. And she'll set you up with a link on StreamYard. I broadcast on YouTube. I use the StreamYard application. All you do is email her at VincentWDavis.com. That's VincentWDavis.com. Okay. Alicia says, NYP from California, says we have a court mandatory jurisdiction. Okay. When is that happening? When is that happening? What are the details? What are they going to talk about, you think? How can I help you, NYP? How can I help you? So to be my guest, she will direct you what to say or do, and there's no eating or smoking. And then furthermore, um, there's no we don't talk about names on the live stream. Now, lastly, you can call in. You can call in at 626-698-0990. That is my work number, and it reaches me direct. I use Vonage, which is an application. You don't need to get it, but it's a phone application that the company uses so they can use the internet. Now, I want to talk to you about this live stream. This live stream is a very important thing to families out there. Now, we're very passionate about bringing you the information you need, sharing the stories to raise awareness, inspire to fight CPS, to keep creating the content you love. We need your support. Production costs are rising, and every contribution makes a real difference. And so, what I'm asking is you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, CPS Defense Strategy Consultant Vince Davis, and become a part of our community. I have it written at the bottom of my screen. You go to the YouTube Defense Strategy and you sign up and you support us. You can give $10, $5, $2.50, or $1. Any amount will help. I'm looking right now for something from Mr. Davis. He's my attorney, and he's been fighting CPS for 39 years. He is a attorney with a background in juvenile court, family law, juvenile law, and dependency law. And he said that he's starting a monthly newsletter for $1.99 per month. It'll be automatic charge to your card. The newsletter will contain theories, articles by Bob Pace, me, CPS news from around the country or internationally, articles by attorney Vince Davis on how to beat CPS, articles by attorney Vince Davis on how to sue CPS. A look into the lives of me, Bob Pace, attorney Vincent Davis, and Mrs. G, and other platform hosts. Discount coupon for legal consultant with attorney Davis. So I'm talking about this newsletter. When you sign up, you get the newsletter, and then you get 3 bonuses: a private newsletter with the Facebook group, a free copy of Attorney Vincent Davis' book, The Secret How to Fight CPS Win, and a free monthly call newspaper group, which include a live question and answer with Attorney Davis and current members of the group. Now, Alicia says NYP Monday. So this Monday, today is Friday. It's March 7th. So this Monday the 9th, I think it is, the 8th, 9th, 10th. This Monday the 10th, you have that real important meeting. It's, from my understanding, it's a trial. Okay, do you get the funds on here? I personally do not. I know that there are stars. I don't see them, but I know there's stars there. If people subscribe to newsletter, then that helps with the production of the newsletter. And at the bottom of my screen, you just go to the YouTube and you go to that YouTube to sign up. Now, this is a jurisdiction, it's a trial. Well, is it a criminal trial? I'm really confused because the only trials, CPS can do trials. It can be requested to have a jury trial to make a jurisdiction. But what is your attorney saying, NYP? What is your attorney saying? Well, let me see. NYP. Now, I've told you about how the text messages, how to be a guest, and now I have my phone number. I can only talk during the hours of my show, not before my show or not after my show. Okay? Hello, don't complain. Have not seen you in a while. Welcome. Don't Complain's one of my family members on here. Wow, good news. Don't Complain says, thank God CPS finally removed my step from her mom. Okay. I remember you were talking about a situation where your stepdaughter was being abused. And can you tell me more details? Also, I forgot what part of the country you're from, Don't Complain. Waiting on an answer from NYP for my question, and then waiting for an answer from Don't Complain. No, Don't Complain's been on before, and I forget. I try to remember everybody, but it's hard. When you talk to over 1,000 people, it is really hard. Now, let me tell you something about myself. I'm a loving father. I've raised 6 children, and I have 42 years of marriage. And I've also been involved in CPS. I've been fighting them for 15 years. I'm not an attorney, but all I am is a man that cares and has lots of years of experience of life skills. And what I have developed are 5 rules I wish I had used at the time of my case or followed up on. I've had a real battle on my case. Um, Don't Complain says, oh, he's in California. Good. And Don't Complain. And she was being abused. I remember you told me that many times. I kept reporting it, and finally, they they listened. The only problem is the mom filed a restraining order on me for getting the daughter back. Yep, that little mucky muck things up. That is a criminal matter. A restraining order is handled in criminal court and involves uh, a criminal attorney. And of course, it'll cost you money. It'll cost you money. Now, NYP says, I agree with children being removed from homes that are abusing them. And when you love your children and do everything for them, it's just heartbreaking. My whole life is gone until I get my children back. I understand. I lost one of my children. I had one of the best attorneys in the country. Unbeknownst to me or him, the degree of social workers didn't really show up to when the social worker that was on trial, they were discussing about adopting my daughter by my wife's sister and husband. And so my attorney was aggressively questioning the social worker. And he asked what kind of parents you think these people are. And the social worker answered, they're beautiful parents. Then he pulls out a folder and then he asks, what kind of parents are you? Are my wife's sister and husband? And she said they're great parents and they would take very good care of our daughter. Well, then with that folder, he opens it up and he starts to read reports, and the reports are horrendous. They're from the police department of domestic violence. Not only the arguing, but the physical domestic violence, ones where they hit each other, hurt each other. Well, you don't want a child to be introduced to that. So she committed perjury. She lied. She lied so bad. And she left the court in tears. And then she told his parents, you're never going to see your daughter back. And what she did is she convinced her 12-year-old daughter to get emancipated from the parents. That means divorce from mom, dad, her 3 brothers, and her 2 sisters. And of course, her grandparents, both sets. And then the aunts and the uncles and the cousins. She had to turn her back on everyone, which was really sad. That's just revengeful. And I don't believe that she was I don't think that social worker was being honest, is what the problem was. So that's the example. Our daughter was told to emancipate from us, which she did, to change her complete name So she has a new first, middle, and last name. And her middle name, which was Hanalei that we gave her, is gone. Then she was told to seal her birth certificate. And then she got a new birth certificate and put the foster care parents as her mother and father. It's a hard thing to swallow. She got a new birth certificate, sealed her old birth certificate, so that us didn't exist anymore to her. With her emancipate from us as parents, her name completely changed, and a new birth certificate. She also got a new social security card and then proceeded to double dip, meaning her foster care parents were taking money from both cards from my account. I was paying double. And if Social Security found out, there'd be a lot of heads rolling. Now, I was thinking about my daughter. She's 22 now. I've not seen her since she's 12. And she was taken when she was 9 years old. And it's really sad because we had to fight them for 3 years. My attorney, I hired Vincent Davis, but I was late. I waited to almost a year. But he got her boys back. That's what's important. That's what's important. So I'm telling you, my rule number one is get an attorney, not a court appointed attorney, not a public defender, a real attorney, one that is licensed professionally in the areas of juvenile law, family law, and dependency law, that has fought CPS. You need to find two other attorneys. I have a first one here is Vincent Davis, and I can tell you ways you can talk to him for free. Right now, if you're a guest on my podcast or call in, you get a free 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. That's for 15 minutes. And it is a private. It'd be on Zoom. And so, in that. So there you go. I got an attorney that you can talk to and find out if that attorney is one that you like to hire. Because you have two important questions to ask attorneys. Number one, are you licensed and have experience in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law? Now, with that being said, you have to understand social workers cannot be trusted. You're like Alice in Wonderland. You've fallen in the rabbit hole and you met the Cheshire Cat, who is CPS, and they'll send you from room to room that'll not make sense to you. It's really, really sad. You need to get your children back. You need to follow some certain rules because they will discriminate, they will retaliate, they will lie, they will hurt you as a parent. They'll let you up and then take you right back down. They're notorious about that. Now, the last comment I have is from NYP. There are probably other ones I need to move my cursor down. Children and do everything for them. It's just heartbreaking with my whole life. And that is Alicia from California. And I'm so sorry, Alicia. You were once a mandated reporter, which means you're a teacher. There are two types of individuals that report incidents to the child protection system. There's mandated ones, which are the professional that are trained, and because they work with children, they're required by law to report abuse or neglect. And that's what NYP is. The other individuals are relatives, family, friends, acquaintances, those kinds of individuals. And I had a whole family turn against me and my wife. My wife's own mother and father and her three sisters and her brother every week would call in and say that we weren't taking care of her kids. So they heard all that. Then finally, after fighting them, my children were returned in 2015. But I had to lose my daughter, and my sons and my wife and I had to go through hell. CPS is very, very hard and very, very difficult. It hurts me a lot to even talk about it. And it's been over 10 years since my children were taken. It's 15 years when I started fighting with them. And they were returned 3 years later, so it's only been 7 years, but it still is a lump in my throat. I still hurt talking about it. Well, hello there, JD. I'm sorry I missed you the other day. You came on my show after my show was ending, but I'm glad to see you. JD is from Los Angeles, California. He's one of the family. And what's new with you, JD? What do you have to share? Also, I need to catch up. Don't Complain says, I saw the mother 2 times in the last 3 years. She doesn't have no police reports against me or anything. Well, that is good news. But if you're in a court order, restraining order, then that's a criminal charge. NYP says, I took care of a lot of children in my city, and my baby had 11 fractures, but once it was proven why. Yes, this is the mother that had a child that had a special disease. The bones would break real easily, and it's actually the hospital that broke the bones, not the parent. It's the form of rickets. Now, NYP says my children should have been released, but they are still gone. Yes, because you're involved with a very crooked system in CPS. But I know that on Monday, when you have your trial, hopefully you'll have the doctor there that can testify that they found out that disease and describe it. Also, anything else that would help with your case there. I didn't assume you're a teacher. A mandated reporter could be a teacher, but they could also be a policeman or a nurse or a doctor. I don't know what profession you had that was supposed to look out for children, but I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you do look after children. So I hope You can tell me what they are. Now, JD, do you have anything to tell me? You haven't been in here for a while. And the other day you came in so late, I feel bad I was able to talk to you. Now we're, about 15 minutes away from my show ending at 11 o'clock. Uh, Now, there's lots of things we can talk about. I've made 4 rules that are very important. First rule is to hire the right kind of attorney. Court appointed attorneys, or public defenders, are not trained in family law, juvenile law, or dependency law. And they will not fight for you because they're saddened with over 30 or more cases by CPS. So they don't have time to talk to you outside of court. The only time you see them is when you're at court. And that does not give enough time to strategize or to work your case. They're not going to fight you because they have 30 or more clients and they're so busy, they don't have time. So it's really hard when you don't have good representation, and we can fight some of this, but it is hard. It is hard. There's no question about that. If you're going to use a court-appointed attorney or a public defender, you need to stress the importance to them that they need to perform. If they don't perform, you'll sue them for negligence. Furthermore, you need to tell them if they don't perform, you will contact the state capitol where the agency's at and file a complaint against them, which they will be investigated. Now, getting the right attorney is very important. You should get 3 quotes. Now, one is Mr. Davis. You don't need to get a quote yet from him. He's already answered your criteria, what you're looking for. It's very important when you use my step number 4, when you research the internet, that your placement of words are correctly done. First, you want to put the city, and then the state, and then the letters CPS. And that's going to pull up a lot of CPS. But if you want to refine it, then after the letters of CPS, you describe what you're looking for. And that will show up too. So if you're looking for attorneys, you want to put attorneys that are juvenile law, family law, and Now, when you call the other two attorneys, there are two important questions. Your first question should be, are you a but I mean, back up. When you research the internet, you put in after the letters CPS, you put attorney, attorney license in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. That's all you have to put, and a bunch of names will appear. Now, if you live in a big city a small city like, um, I'm trying to think of some good analogies here. Let's say you live in Athens, Georgia. That's where the University of Georgia is from. And an innocent jogger was killed there by a man from another country with a bad record. Anyway, that place may not be big enough to find a lot. So you got to put a comma and put Atlanta. So Athens, Atlanta, Georgia, CPS, and then your question. That will get you more returns. After you see the names, you have to weed through them because you need to call two of them. And you want to look at the one that's best described, they'll meet your needs. So if they say that they fight CPS, then that's a good sign. But after you call them, the other two, you need to ask important questions. Question one is, are you a professional licensed attorney in the area of juvenile law, family law, and dependency law, and have returned children from CPS to their home, to your home? If the answer is yes, the next attorney question you want to ask is that, it is hard. I had to sell my home to get the money to hire Mr. Davis. I quick sold my home. Now, when you're talking to these other two candidates to find out your three attorneys, the second question should be, after the case is closed, have you ever filed a civil lawsuit against CPS and won money back? If the answer is yes, and the first question the answer is yes, then that's the attorney you want to call, talk about their retainer, and also see how the chemistry between you and the attorney are. It's very important to have good chemistry. If you don't, it's going to be a downhill case at all. So that's how you do. You call them and you ask for three references. You check out the references and see what they have to say. And then you adopt them. That's all you have to do. And I hope you do call in or be a guest on my podcast because you get a 15-minute private Zoom consultation with Mr. Davis. A 15-minute private consultation. And then you're going to have to get an attorney because without an attorney, you will not get your kids back. You'll not get your kids back. Now, rule number 2 is you need to document everything. It's so important that you get a notebook with 3 rings, hole punch all the paperwork, put it in your notebook, arrange it with tabs, subject tabs, and divide those tabs and then put the earliest date first, followed by the later dates. And then the way it opens up, you'll see the most current date on top in that section. Also, you need to start what's called the time log for incidents. It's a time log incident. Now, incidents are when you talk to a policeman or a social worker or a school and bad things or good things came out of it. You write down on the first line, it takes 3 lines to do this. But the first line, you write down the phone number, the date and time you called, and the people you talked with, all the people. And then you write down the phone number. So I know it may be time consuming to do records, but you will not remember from 6 months later or a year later. You have to look at it, it's going to take you at least 3 years. And especially if you're doing things that the criminal people have required you to do. If, for instance, if you have a restraining order. Now, with that notebook, you put your court documents in there, and you put your drug test and your certificate from parenting classes and programs. You want to document everything. Try to meet in public spaces like the library, Starbucks, or McDonald's. Do not meet in your home. Do not meet at their office. Bad things will come out of it. Bad things will come out of it. Now, rule number 3 is that you do not talk to social workers or police when they come knocking at your door. You don't answer the door. You don't know who's at the door or what harm that person can do. And if it's CPS, you open the door, then they're going to look for everything in your home. Now, when they knock, you just be quiet. Too many people are shot mistakenly. The creepy, okay, we have a new person. The Christmas tree in your attic. Hi, I was wondering, do you know if Cynthia still has a show? I haven't seen her for a while. I haven't seen her either. I don't know. I do not know that. She used to stop in my room and support me. Maybe she's taken a time out. I don't know. I've not heard from her. And I understand that you have a CPS case. Where you're from? I'm going to call you Tree. I'll call you Tree. It's easy for me. I'll just call you Tree as your first name. But in this room, we identify where people are from. It helps me know about things. So I have about 5 minutes left. I'm going to turn my phone number off because I can't take phone calls because there's not much time left. I am going to put up an important thing that you can speak to Mr. Davis for longer than 15 minutes. At the bottom of my screen, I have a message where you can book a discounted private Zoom consultation with attorney Vincent Davis. Use $60 for 30 minutes. That's care of me. So you have to go to that website, https://candlely.com apps APPTS VWD/Bob Pace. And you could get a private consultation for 30 minutes for $60. So you get a 15-minute consultation for free. And then a 30-minute consultation for $60. Now, further, there's another number on the screen called 888-888-6582. That is my office. That is Vincent Davis's office number. Make sure when you call them, you say that Bob Pace sent you. If you talk to Vincent Davis, make sure you tell him that Bob Pace sent you. And it's really important because there you can get all kinds of books. And the latest book or guide is a grandparent guide to adopt your grandchildren in California. It's for $9.99, but right now I have a special. You get half off. It's at PACE, P-A-C-E, 50. That's all capital letters, P-A-C-E 50. And they will sell you that book. There's other guides that you can get also. Also, you can talk to Vincent Davis at that number too. If you're ready to hire him, go right ahead and do so. Now, in closing, I want to reemphasize that there is no right way to do things. You have to be a fighter. You have to research the internet. I need to wrap up this live stream. I want to thank all of you for joining me in here. I want to thank NYP from California City, California, and who has a horrible case about a child that had 5 broken bones. It's because of a rare disease this child has. And the nurses, when she was born, created the broken bones. I want to thank Don't Complain. Thank you for telling me that you're finally able to get the stepmom and the daughter safely away. But now you got another problem. You have to deal with a restraining order. That's not fun. And NYP from California, California, I'm glad that you keep coming back. And I hope all goes well at your trial next Monday. JD, I'm so glad to see you. I hope there's something that you wanted to know. I'll be on again at 7 p.m. tonight. It's nice to meet you, Tree, and I'll look into see if Cynthia is still around. God bless you all. Don't give up. This is Bob Pace saying I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.